big problem with the world is that people will assume somebody is a disorderly or autistic, for example, when they actually just are experiencing some kind of ill health, mental health, some paranoid schizophrenia perhaps, or just some kind of self-esteem issue, and that they'll actually be functioning in a way that is similar to most of the people. And this is the problem. Some people their behavior is being labeled as autistic or problematic or not good, not appropriate. And what's actually happening is they're just living their life, and people are becoming offended because they're not being listened to about something, and they're not made feeling special, and they actually feel just like there's a problem with that. They're convinced that there's no way that you don't think that they're a bad person. For example, you might be involved in a situation where you've just done a day's work for somebody with your friend, and that somebody who gave you the day's work, he might introduce you to his father, and his father might have just come back from a trip from where he was shooting animals in the bush or out in the field, and they were exotic animals, African animals, and you might, after looking at a few photos and there's a big photo book being flicked through, you might say, I'm going to go and sit in the car and relax, and then you might even be kind of abruptly interrogated by the person who's showing photos for anyone who apparently wanted to look at it. And you might be asked, what do you do for hobbies? You might get a flash interview because you might think because you're about to just go and sit down and they want to ask you a question before you break away from them and finally get home after working for a day's work. And then by the time you answer your question about what your hobby is and what you like in general, you might sit down, and then that person who gave you the day's work might say, this guy's a bit actually maybe autistic, or he's just a disrespectful, unappropriate person. And your friend might even say it was a bit weird that he just walked off. Maybe he might say that. Maybe he'll say nothing, but there's a general theme in this world that if there's a grown man who's vulnerable to having feelings of being inadequate or just a bit of a joke, a loser, if he's prone to having that done, do not risk it, because he might be prone to becoming paranoid that you're doing this because you think he's a loser. Even though he doesn't know it, he'll become paranoid, he'll become emotional, and then he'll become angry just that he feels that way, and he'll blame you, and he'll suggest that the reason that his health is compromised, mental health, is that this person has autism or is just a prick.